Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of CookieCast. Today on CookieCast, it's straight to the apex, the Formula One podcast. Races. That's what we want. We want races. Races gone, races to come, race news, race predictions, races. It's all here. Everything you could possibly want from a Formula One podcast, all wrapped up with a nice, neat bow. Before we get started, please do consider like, share, subscribe and comment. Leave a review where you can leave a review. The main one there, people, sharing it around. If you've got a Formula One fan in your life, send this podcast their way. They are absolutely going to love it. Right, let's get started. Here we go. This is CookieCast, straight to the apex.
Oh yeah.
Hello. Welcome to episode 22 of Straight to the Apex. I'm T-Dog, Tony, Sexy, I Want to Be James Rawson. That's the best impression I can do of Tony. I think I pretty much nailed it. Maybe just with a really, really deep voice.
And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, Tony.
Thanks for coming. Thank you.
How are we doing, lads?
All right. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good.
For listeners, not viewers, James's name tonight is Fuck the FIA, which...
Fuck the FIA, fuck the FIA, fuck the FIA. Fuck the FIA. Fuck the FIA.
I mean, I don't know why.
Why? What happened?
What happened, James? Why fuck the FIA?
We will tell you later on episode 22 of Straight to the Apex. I'm in the driver's seat this week. James Stainforth. In my pit crew, I can't even say ever present anymore because he wasn't. But representing the grey in the beard, Mr. Mark Wilkin.
Hi.
And also our strategist who is actually getting with timekeeping now because he was here before I was this week again. Tony T-Dog Rawson. How are we doing, lads? We're good?
It's only happened once, and that's because I told him a few home truths, like how he frustrates me. And he's had a week off to contemplate his behaviour. I'm going to guess it ain't going to last. Next week he'll be late. Because you've dropped the bombshell, James. You're leaving me alone with him next week.
That's right. I'm going to Disneyland.
James, where are you going?
Going to Disneyland.
Way.
And I'm suddenly scared because I suddenly remember going to Madame Tussauds, getting drunk, and having thoughts about how long it would take me to get kicked out if I did things to Sandra Bullock. I don't know if I can get drunk in Disneyland, but I know that there is Elsa and Anna from Frozen there, and I've got a thing for Anna. I do love a redhead.
Just FYI, you should have got kicked out of Madame Tussauds in London for feeling up the waxworks. The princesses in Disneyland are not waxworks. They're real people. Do not fill them up.
No, I'm scared. I'm going to be chasing a Disney princess. I'm going, oh, come on.
I think it's going to be more like security are going to be chasing you around.
Well, you know what? It could be a lot worse. I could be someone on their hen do in Amsterdam. I'm not going to go into any detail on this podcast about that, but if you all go on Google and see what happened on a hen do in Amsterdam recently, yeah.
I dare Google this.
There's going to be some serious therapy, and if Jeremy Kyle was still a thing, he would probably quit on the spot after hearing that story.
I'm intrigued. I am intrigued.
I will send you a video at halftime.
Good.
It gets better. Just gets better and better. Well, Well, I know what I'll be doing tonight.
This isn't one of those videos that you would want to watch. I mean, luckily it's a video, but it's just of an audio recording, not of what happened in Amsterdam, but someone telling the story of what happened in Amsterdam.
I'm really intrigued.
I know I keep saying that. I need to say something at some point where Andy will have to like listen back to it and go, "Oh shit, I've got to cut that out." But mate, nah.
No. Let's not go down that avenue.
Yeah, this is an appropriate time to move on.
I know it's after dark. I know we're pre-watershed, but move on.
All I'll say is, Andy, don't worry. At some point, I will say something that will offend someone enough.
Well,
I'm working. I promise.
Well, what country's next? I'm just going to say it's a year to the day that Tony decided to upset quite a lot of Mexicans.
This is very true, and it's almost been a year since he has actually said he would apologise, and still hasn't.
I mean, I was right, and a year to the day to the weekend, they've still got form. They're now booing their own teammates who are also world champions. So
Yep. I was going to say, they're now booing the other one.
If they did that in Texas, what are they going to do in Mexico to him?
So what's he going to do? He's going to go even harder.
I'm still disappointed many quotes out of Monty Python's Holy Grail when they're just wanting to burn the witch. Burn the witch!
Unless there's an agreement there.
Burn him anyway!
There's one race in the season where he's been told to back off.
Matt.
The race.
It's not in his nature. Not a chance. If they told him to back off, he would argue with GP on the radio and he'd go faster.
Well, I mean, he had brake trouble this race. Screaming.
Whoa. He had, in quotation marks, brake trouble. He didn't have brake trouble.
Could that have a factor this weekend?
Nah.
This is the long straight. Very high speed.
Was it Mexico last year when you were saying, "You know my reasons"? Was it that race when you were shouting that out? I can't remember. I know there was a race back end of last season when they were saying, "Look, give it to Perez," and he wouldn't. And he kept saying, "I've already given you my reasons. I'm not doing this."
No, I don't think it was Mexico.
I think it was a different race, but the reasons were rumored to be.
Well, it was Monaco. It was Monaco.
No, Perez was banging.
Anyway.
I can't remember.
No.
But in fairness, Perez has done a lot of banging people this year anyway, so. Anyway, as always, massive shout to Andy and the crew at Cookie Cast for still putting up with us. But, you know, when you've got a couple of guys as good looking as us, why wouldn't they? You know,
also, we've got a new listener. We have got a listener.
What's a fifth listener?
That's not him. That's not him ringing. Shout out to Ricky at work. He now listens to the podcast and found it very funny. And that was just me and James last week, so God knows what he's going to think to Tony. Although I did say to him, if you listen to the early ones, my mate shat himself.
I'm not going to name podcasts because we're actually allowed to name other podcasts. But there is a certain podcast that I listen to between a husband and wife, which I keep meaning to write into and say, we also do a podcast. And on the third episode, my mate shat himself.
You know, that's a great... because I'm off to see these people, I got a survey to fill in. I'm gonna put that. That's a great shout.
Oh, mate. I'm there as well. We're both there the same night. Let's both write in. Double the chances.
I like this. Let's do it. Sorry, turn. But yeah, so shout out to Ricky. He's a Hull KR fan as well. So James, he's got a beard like you, but he's ginger.
I like Ricky.
Sorry, Ricky. So yeah, we will talk about Tony shitting himself a little bit more.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was a proud day.
You really want to know the story. go back to the beginning and listen to it all the way through.
I said if he watches the
I don't
video,
want to spoil it.
apparently...
If you listen to Series 1, though, Ricky, I don't want to spoil it too much, but Max Verstappen won that season.
Well, what's the point of listening? No point in listening, is there? You spoil it now.
No.
I did say he could watch it on YouTube, and apparently Tony said there is a point where you can see his face almost straining and embarrassed.
Yeah, just like that, isn't it?
I don't know if I said that.
Mm.
I don't think I said that.
I think...
I may have done that.
Yeah, you may have done that.
May have done that. But, well, happens to the best of us. Happens to the best of us.
Yep.
Yeah. Just not on a recorded podcast for all of the nation
Move on.
to watch.
Move on.
Tony's
Move on.
begging you, move on. Please
Move on.
All right,
Move
moving
on.
on. Because we've been going for about 10, 15 minutes yet. And like normal, we have not spoken about Formula One to a great degree so far.
And it was a long weekend again.
It was a long weekend. It was another sprint weekend. It was another shit sprint weekend. But it was an interesting one. Who would think you would go to bed on a Sunday night after watching a Formula One race, quite happy with the result, to then wake up the next morning and the first thing you see on the phone is disqualifications?
I couldn't believe it.
You know what was
I just got your message. And I looked and I just went, wow, is this real?
Yeah, I thought it was a joke as well, but we'll touch on it anyway because it's all over the news and we normally go into the news first of all. But I don't know why anyone wouldn't be aware about this by now. I mean, let's face it, we're recording this on a Wednesday. The race was 3 days ago. Where the hell have you guys been? But yeah, so Hamilton finished second in the race, but then by, Monday morning, our time in the UK, both him and Leclerc had both been disqualified.
Yep.
Yeah.
For a worn down plank.
Yep.
Now, it's interesting to say that the teams have said maybe this needs looking into for sprint weekends.
That's interesting. I didn't think of that.
Because it's obviously they're in parc fermé conditions, it's worn down. They set the car up wrong. Basically, Mercedes set the car up wrong. It was too low. It wore down the plank. Didn't do it on George Russell's though. Didn't do it on Carlos Sainz's. But they tested quite a few cars. They do it every week. And unfortunately, Lewis and Leclerc, disqualified.
Interesting. Absolutely. Because he was on it this weekend. Maybe that's why. But then you could argue they were within Max, catching Max and racing with Max. Did he have his floor higher? Maybe. I don't know. Did they just push the boundaries too much?
We know that Mercedes...
Then why did it happen to them two, not the other two?
Yeah, we know that Mercedes brought in their upgrades. They brought
brand new floor.
Ready for 2024. And they do look good. I mean, granted, Hamilton's always good at USA anyway. He has never finished outside of the top four in the USA. He's always been great there. And he showed it all weekend. He was absolutely phenomenal. Qualifying, sprint race, everything about him was just top notch. And yeah, if there'd have been 2 more laps on race day, he would have probably had the win.
Do you think?
And I mean,
do you think?
What he had 4 laps left, and there was 5 seconds, and he was shaving off at least half a second each lap. One lap he shaved off 0.8. He was getting right on Max's back, and I think 2 or 3 more laps, he would have probably had him. And I think then that would have... Don't get me wrong, finishing second, then getting disqualified is gut-wrenching anyway, but for Hamilton, I mean, that would have been his first win since Jeddah in 2021.
Wow.
Wow.
I honestly...
like, yeah, you're not having it.
I honestly think Mac fucked up and they give him too much to do. And I think the tyres would have gone off, personally. I don't think he'd have caught Max. I think Max was cruising.
I don't know, because Max was genuinely frustrated and he kept telling, his guys to shut up when he's braking and everything else like that. I don't think Max was having a great time, particularly.
No, he gets like this, doesn't he? How many times
he has a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
I mean, that they should have pitted him earlier for his first pit. They shouldn't have bodged up his first pit because it was a 3.6 second pit.
Mm.
So he lost a second there. I think in total with that pit, he lost about 4 seconds.
Yeah.
So
and I left him out.
Well, hindsight saying, well, what if this, what if that? But we don't know.
No.
Yeah, Paul. I think they've only had one pit stop under 2.5 seconds. They're definitely not in the top 10 this year.
Toto mentioned that, didn't he? He said it's something we need to work on. I mean, all I can think of is James's impression of Toto now telling his team off about, we need to be quicker.
Well, there is an impression of Toto.
Yes. Sit back, boss stance. I like it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, really? One of the things I find strange about Toto now, because you used to watch him years ago and slightly pants pit stop and headsets getting smashed on the desk. Someone gets bumped a little bit, headsets getting smashed on the desk and he's punching the desk. He was so animate and so passionate and just, if something wasn't going right, he wasn't happy. I mean, granted, we always thought that was total piss, but we saw total pissed in the last race. That, no Mikey, that was total piss. But since that, it's just so stoic.
I mean, it grants the impression, James, come on, you normally do it. Last race of the season. What?
No, Mikey, no.
No, Mikey.
It's not going alone there. No, Mikey. Mickey.
Rocky's turned up. Yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously, he's had his knee up, and he maybe doesn't like the persona of himself on Drive to Survive, being the angry Austrian that he is. You know what I mean? Like, maybe he's just kind of turned it down a bit.
He's not the angriest Austrian there ever has been.
No, that is true. Mm-hmm.
See, Andy, working on it.
Tony looks lost. Bless him.
I'm lost. I haven't shit myself again. Sorry, guys. I don't know.
Again.
Missed me.
Yeah.
Tony confused? Has he gambled and lost?
He's gone for it again. We warned him. We did warn him. Don't go for it.
Where am I? There's only one Austrian I know.
Okay. So, what other news have we got? Because let's face it, if Tony starts, he's now going to upset Austria, and that is probably the one place in Europe he is still welcome.
Vegas, big opening ceremony, November the 15th. Some of the acts announced: Swedish House Mafia, 30 Seconds to Mars, will.i.am, Keith Urban. Obviously, I was in Vegas a few weeks ago, seeing the whole preparation for it. It was mental. I've seen videos since I've been there covering all the glass walkways up, so you can't view the Formula One from them. They're starting to cover hotel windows up that overlook the track. I've heard a rumour that Vegas is going to be one and done.
Yes, I was going to say this as well.
They've basically said Vegas didn't realise that all the prep work needed to be done this far in advance, and
it's damaging the economy.
I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, being there, yes, I couldn't see the Bellagio water fountains from the street, but I could see them from other ways. Yes, they're covering walkways up, so them other ways are slowly going down. But it wasn't as much chaos as I thought it'd be. And granted, there's big grandstands there now that are over the water at Bellagio and blah, blah, blah. But did they think they'd just rock up the same week with all the kit and put it out?
I was going to say, this is Vegas.
They wanted to do it down the strip.
Yeah.
But it's
What did
Vegas.
the-
It's like one of the biggest show meccas in the world. You know, it's like, oh, you want Britney Spears? Yeah, there you go. You want Lionel Richie? Yeah, there you go.
Usher.
Elton John? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You want Formula One? Oh shit, it takes that long to organise.
I mean, there is a lot of infrastructure that has to go up, but then build a track or build it off the strip. What did you expect putting it down a busy road? It'd be like doing it down Oldness Road. There would be chaos.
I don't think they're going to finish it. There's part of me is like, something's not going to be done in time, or something will just be.
It's got about a month to go yet. They're well on the farm. They'll finish it.
Was there a lot of traffic when you were there?
Yeah, it's Vegas. There's constant traffic. There's
Yeah.
like literally. Yeah.
They were saying there was a lot though. Like I'm following a few pages saying it's exactly what you were saying, and also the rerouting of all the traffic. It's just making it ridiculous.
Well, they were resurfacing the road before I got there. The full, so half of the Vegas Strip has been resurfaced because that's the side the cars are going down, and they were doing that apparently 3 or 4 in the morning. Anywhere else, you'd be pissed off because you'd be in bed. In Vegas, no one's in bed, so they were probably joining in helping them do the road. But it's weird because in Vegas, obviously, you don't kind of walk down the side of the strip much because it's all bridges and it's really awkward and really strange. Yeah, to me, there wasn't as much.
But the thing is, I've never been.
No.
So I can't. I'm trying to watch videos and listen and understand, but
Oh, you'll never understand until you go. You never understand the absolute nuts of it. I mean, like I say, James knows you kind of don't walk in a straight line. You zigzag across different bridges.
And that's if you use the street. I mean, you can pretty much get to every single hotel without actually leaving a hotel.
Exactly. So, yeah, there's a bit of disruption, but I don't think there's as much as I thought there'd be. But again, what did they expect?
Yeah, I don't get that.
But yeah, I've heard it's one and done. So watch this space. Could be a one-off.
Or are they just saying that just to hype it up even more?
Yeah, probably. I mean, the Las Vegas Raiders tickets are about £800 a ticket. So I would dread to think what the Vegas tickets are. But yeah, if you say one and done and they haven't sold that many, all of a sudden it's sell out.
That's what I'm thinking. I hope there's fans there. I hope they sell the tickets, even if they're at a ridiculous price. I've just got a feeling that it's going to be a disappointment.
I thought it was going to go into the Black Eyed Peas song then. Oh, please tell me you know that song.
No, I do know the song, but I'm just trying to, yeah, not make any jokes. Just keep it down. You know.
Did Kanye write it?
He definitely did not write it. I think it was what's his name? will.i.am.
Who will
same
be
guy?
the
same guy that wrote the F1 song. But we will. Let's not go into that. Let's not go into that.
No. You've been very, very careful tonight. I don't like this.
We've got time.
Yeah, to be fair.
We'll offend someone at some point.
Yeah.
We've been here before. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, look.
We get to the end. We get
messages.
triggered, and before you know it, we've dropped F-bombs and pissed off half the world.
At some point, one of us is going to say something, and once we finish recording, we'll message on WhatsApp going, guys, did I go too far there?
I'm really scared about you, James. Please I'm begging you, don't say anything bad, please. I'm scared.
Is that because you're
Every
not
podcast
aware?
you keep raising the stakes, like you're gonna say something really bad, like
It's like, okay, so the line's not there. Just a little bit. Still no line there. Yeah. I'll get
Anyway.
it.
Moving on.
I'll wait until I've had enough of doing the podcast. It's like, right, you know what? I'm going to quit after this one, and I'm not going to talk Formula One at all. I'm just going to go into every.
What do you mean when you've had enough?
Well, that scene out of Ace Ventura, all of a sudden just go.
Well.
So the only other news I've got is the shit show of posters that they put up in USA. They put up the posters of all the drivers stood together, but they didn't put Lance Stroll on. What the fuck? They replaced him. If I remember right, I think it was Felipe Drugovich. They put up instead of him.
I mean,
what's happened there?
Is
that an error? Or was he just not saying?
It was an error, and then the FIA tried doing all this media stuff to try and deflect from it. But then somebody realised that above Daniel Ricciardo's pit, they'd spelt his name wrong.
Yeah, I mean it's Americans. I'm not saying Americans. I go there a lot.
Whoa!
Not saying it's all Americans.
TSA, FBI, FBI.
Yeah. Look, no, he'll upset them.
Yeah.
Talk about schools.
No.
They're great. What, in America?
Yeah, they're great.
Well, I mean, it's funny that I'm moving on. It's funny that Lawrence Stroll was there this weekend as well, wasn't it? He hadn't been to a race for quite a while, and all of a sudden he turns up the weekend where his son's not on any posters.
I think his behaviour, Lance Stroll's behaviour, and you touched on it in the last podcast, I think it's just a disgrace. And I know I do take the piss and I say I'm a fanboy, but I just really think that's just a disgrace. Like, it's almost like he knows now. Like, he knows that you know that I'm here because of my dad. And I'm like, I'll play to that.
He apologised, didn't he, for his behaviour, but I actually haven't seen the apology, so I don't know what he said, or apart from sorry, obviously, but I don't know if he kind of said sorry to his trainer and why he did it or why he was frustrated. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe his dad's going to wait till end of year, but like we said last week, this will really determine how interested he is in either winning in Formula One or just having his son drive in Formula
One. I feel like there's an element of I've been there, done it. So
I think if Lance takes it seriously as well, I mean, surely he's got to understand at some point it's going to happen. So he's really got to start showing his worth to either keep his existing seat or earn one somewhere else.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he'll go anywhere else.
Did you see? Well, I was going to say, did you see that the Perez rumours were kind of mentioned this weekend as well? That he's not retiring in Mexico, he's not making an announcement. What's the bets that he does make an announcement? And maybe he goes to Aston Martin because that's his former team and his former guys. Him and Fernando.
I actually forgot about that.
Well, it's an option. It's an option. I really do think he's going to retire. I think it don't make F1 Sky if it's not. There's an element of trueness to it.
Oh, I think there's something coming. I think they're just playing.
And I think it plays into the story completely. He takes it out of Red Bull's hands, and it's like a final fuck you. Like a final, I'm retiring. I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts.
Do you think he's going to do it? He's going to do it to kind of piss on Red Bull's bonfire.
I've jumped before I was pushed.
Interesting. Yeah.
Type move, I think.
Also, the other way to look at it as well is if I was Sergio Perez, knowing that the driving at Red Bull is probably the peak of my career, that is probably when I'd be thinking about retiring as well. If I know I'm not going to a championship anywhere else, I'm always going to be, second driver and stuff. Maybe I'd want to retire as the Red Bull driver rather than anywhere else. I don't know.
Well, what did we say last week, James? We praised that twat on the left-hand side of the screen, didn't we? The Red Bull environment, maybe he's just thought, do you know what? Don't need to do this anymore. And what did we say? He's broken.
Yeah.
Or is he? Because he didn't do too bad this race.
You say that. Max was how many seconds in front on the sprint race? 10 seconds. 10 seconds he got in front of Lewis in the fastest car with brake problems. So you say Perez didn't do too bad. Again, he should be doing better. He still should be.
I mean, really though, for Perez, he got.
I agree.
That's good for Perez.
I know.
Well, yeah. To be fair, yeah.
It's the little victories sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Just the little ones.
I mean, if people are all, hey, we said it even before the season started. If people are questioning your seat throughout the season, that's going to make you feel shit, innit?
Mm.
Yeah, but then every Red Bull driver has been questioned in that seat. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. True. And they always do in the second car. Norris is now getting questioned against Piastri. Oh, he's a rookie. He shouldn't be beating you, Norris. Oh, Piastri's done better than you. He's won a sprint race. Why haven't you won one, Lando? They're starting to question Lando now, which is ridiculous.
I don't like that narrative. I've heard that all weekend. You haven't won a race yet. The rookies, the 100 race rookies, Russell and Lando. One's won a race, the other hasn't. It was constant, like, you haven't won a race yet. It's like, all right, just settle down. Jesus Christ.
Podiums, you scored more points.
Yeah. Like, what narrative are you trying to spin here?
It's all a bit, stupid, isn't it? Like, one driver does well, but the other one isn't doing as well, and all of a sudden it's like, well, he's no good.
Yeah.
Like, Piastri didn't start very well, did he? And I was doubting his pedigree. I got told at work that Piastri is, future world champion, is as good as Max. Didn't see it. Now you do see it, but now Lando's getting put down, and Lando's not very good. Rubbish.
3 races ago, you were saying that Lando's the next thing,
and he should be Max's teammate at Red Bull.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Don't worry though, Lando. We've got your back. We know you're in it. We know you've got a win in you. We know it's coming.
Tony will have a Lando hat next week. He's been the Aston Martin once. He's moving on to McLaren. Oh, he's gone back to Mercedes tonight.
Tony, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't get a Lando hat or anything. I mean, I think you're a jinx.
You should have bought that Red Bull hat.
I mean, let's
Aston Martin guys. We're coming, guys.
Fernando Alonso walked over to Aston Martin and pretty much introduced himself like that little me would. Hey, I'm Jose Mourinho, and all that kind of shit. And then Aston Martin was doing fucking really well, and then Tony went, "Oh, I'm just going to put this hat on," and it all turned to shit.
Didn't Tony say on a podcast that he guaranteed that Fernando would win a race this year?
I did say that.
Funny that, isn't it? Do you remember?
But I'll always remember as well when he got second and he could have won, and it was like, oh, but he got second, and I was like, me and you, Fernando, and the rest of the Aston Martin crew are going to really, really fucking feel that. Because I think that was the one, mate. And it looks like it is.
And you look stupid.
They're not. I don't think they're going to win a race. But I've said it now, so they probably will.
Well, I told you at the time they won't win a race. I should get an extra 10 bonus points on the predictions for that. Or just enough to beat Tony.
We should both get points.
We should.
For putting up.
Yeah, exactly. We should both get enough points to put Tony in last place.
I think we all should stick together here because there's a certain lady that's catching us all up. And I'm getting a bit on the prediction table. I have to live with her.
Are you sweating a bit? Are you sweating a bit?
Yeah.
Because if it's in front of you, you will never hear the end of it.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
No, because we'll keep you as well.
Can we have Beth on next week?
B-Dog
in
is
place of Jane? Because she'll
I mean,
speak more sense.
He gets beaten by Beth anyway all the time anyway, so he's pretty used to it. But
yeah, he is. Yeah, always below the face, though. Never where you can see.
Well, it was Beth who told me if you hit someone with a hose pipe, they don't bruise. I don't know how she knows, but
because she's got a crash test dummy called Tony.
Right, many more jokes there, but we're not going to go there because we're going to keep it PG.
Yeah.
But look, guys, right, we've got a lot to talk about still. First half.
Don't you dare make this go 3 parts.
We've seen me angry. It's not going to 3 parts.
Let's face it, we're not talking about the sprint race bit. What we will do, I'll do it now. It was shit. Don't watch it.
Cool. I didn't watch it. I'll be honest, I didn't watch it.
To be honest,
hand on heart right now, I didn't even watch it. I don't know who won.
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. The sprint race, like the best race of the weekend. Yeah.
Well,
to be honest,
good was the first turn, and then after that, it was a standard race.
To be honest, sprint quali, and the sprint race, we're probably doing 5 minutes. So
easy, quite easy. So, what do you reckon, guys? Grab a drink, come back, smash it out.
Sounds like a plan.
Legend, right? See you in 5.
Hey, you. Yeah, you that's listening right now. Thanks very much for tuning into this episode of Straight to the Apex, the Formula One podcast from CookieCast. If you're enjoying this episode, why not like, share and subscribe? Whilst you're there, feel free to check out some of the other podcasts that CookieCast has to offer. If you like football, we've got a football podcast. NFL more your thing? Then the Laces Out podcast is for you. Maybe even a little bit of the wrestling. Just look for the Getting Over podcast on CookieCast. Maybe you want to listen to Andy's Darkest Timeline. It's there too. So, the F1 boys have probably got themselves a drink. It's time to get back to the action.
And we're back. Or some of us are back. The other one, well, let's face it, he's doing what he normally does and comes back late. Probably going to be stuffing his face with KFC, McDonald's, Burger King, Five Guys.
I told you it won't last long, did I? I told you it won't last long. He didn't even make it through 1 week.
He didn't even make it through 1 episode of a fucking podcast.
Speak of the devil.
Oh, here he is.
Here he is.
But yeah, seriously, don't tell Tony that.
No.
Hey, Tony.
Yo.
No apology. No apology. Anyway, carry on.
What are you apology?
What's all that about?
Twat.
Unfucking believable.
Yep.
What's happened?
You've shown Ricky, our new listener, your true colours.
Why?
You haven't even lasted a week.
Ricky is appalled.
Yeah.
Ricky doesn't listen anymore. You've upset him.
All because we've lost our listener because of your actions.
We had 1 fan. One fan.
No, 1 listener. Let's not go fan. Let's not go fan. Listener. One listener. Fucking, and you fucked it up. Well done, Tony.
Well, look,
Cheers
he
for that.
listened to the episode without Tony on, so he probably was a fan. And
No, he ain't. Definitely not.
yeah.
Twat. Look at him. No, he doesn't even care. That's the problem. He doesn't even
No
care.
remorse.
No, he's just like, whatever. I'm Tony. Do what I want. Well, Beth said you don't. You're a prick. That's what she said.
Beth said you do as you're told.
Fucking. Beth didn't need to say that. We know that. Hi, Beth.
Hi, Beth. Don't worry, Tony. I just do as I'm told as well. It's just easier.
Definitely. That's 3 of us. I just show off and pretend I don't.
But yeah, no one tells me what to do. Yeah.
Is Charlie out?
I love my wife. That's all I can say.
You have to say that. We know that Beth listens, and we know that Beth is probably in the room with you as well. Hi, Beth.
Sat next to you, yeah. And she'd probably call you a tosser. Yeah.
She's under the table right now, holding his nads with a knife next to him, going, "Tell him you love me."
Anyway, it's not like we've got a lot to get through.
No. So qualifying.
Just go back to the previous episode, the previous part. Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's what I was thinking of. Arnie.
Yes. Yeah, I meant to mention that. Yeah. So
just to specify, because there's many other famous Australian people out there.
Right, move on. Talk about Formula One because we're not going down this rabbit hole. Because I know that James wasn't talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger. So
no, I wasn't talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger. Tony thought I was talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Anyway, carry on. Go.
Moving on. So, quali. So that was shit.
Friday quali.
Friday quali. Well,
so, I watched the highlights on the F1 app just before we came on here, just to refresh myself. I am not going to lie. The highlights of Q1, it went straight to the timer being at 0.
Did it?
The highlights of Q2 went straight to the timer being at 0. All I have got for Q1 is both Aston Martins had the upgrade and they are both out.
No, they have later come back, because obviously I'm a massive Aston Martin fan, and said, and this might come as a big surprise to people here, they got it wrong. What? So, therefore, Alonso went back to the old car, and Lance carried on with the new system, new floor. So.
It's so good to see that brand new...
And in the interview he said, why would they send us both out with the upgrade on? Why didn't they keep one of us on the old car so they can compare data?
It's so good to see that brand new, very expensive factory is paying dividends.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go on, Q3.
So all I got for Q3, Leclerc was actually really fast. Hamilton was smashing it as well. Max wasn't happy, but, well, let's face it, it's Max.
Max was fast. Max was very fast.
Max was fast, but he wasn't happy at all. He was complaining about everything. At one point, I think it was Perez he was complaining about just for some shit manoeuvre on the last turn before the pit straight.
He did, yeah. He got hampered by his own teammate, apparently.
Yeah. But, right at the end, Max took the pole. And then 10 seconds later, he lost the pole because he had exceeded track limits. That was just fun.
So he went down to 6th. Oh, poor man.
Down to 6th.
Let's be honest, didn't fucking matter, did it? But anyway.
Exceeded track limits in 19. So the results of that going for the race grid was Leclerc on pole, Norris 2nd, Hamilton 3rd, Sainz 4th, Russell 5th, Verstappen 6th, Gasly 7th, Ocon 8th, Perez 9th, and Piastri in 10th.
Yeah.
Nice little bit.
Mm.
Now, I didn't watch the sprint shootout
You didn't.
because I hate it.
Right. Do you want me to quickly whiz through the notes I've made because they are extensive for the sprint shootout? So,
Go through it.
Tsunoda and Hamilton nearly made contact, but the stewards didn't warrant an investigation. When SQ2 started, the stewards were busy investigating a few incidents from SQ1, Russell impeding Leclerc, and a few drivers didn't follow the race director's instructions on maximum delta time, which got investigated after the session, and nothing happened. And that's all I've got.
Huh.
There was no casualties. SQ2 really. SQ1, yeah, no big names again really. Yeah. Have you got the order that finished in sprint quali?
No, because like a tool, when I put the order together for qualifying, the race and everything else, absolutely fucking forgot about that bit.
So, Max was on pole. Max, Leclerc, Hamilton, Norris, Piastri, Sainz, Perez, Russell, Albon, Gasly. It was terrible. All of Saturday was terrible, let's be honest. So
yeah, well,
I'm not wasting my time anymore.
The sprint race, I mean, I did watch the sprint race. And I think there is a talking point, not necessarily about the sprint race, but just the US race in general. Pole position. And I'm not just saying this because whenever Leclerc's on pole, Max seems to do really well.
Mm-hmm.
But pole position in the US isn't the best position to be in.
No, it's not.
I think you want P2 or P3. If you've got P2, you've got the best race line, you can brake later, and if you're in P3, you can just drive casually while whoever's in first and second are scrapping it out and then just go, yeah, see you later, guys. You just whiz by them.
Do you think Max was overly aggressive? Because it's a very wide... Yeah, it's a very, very wide entry to that corner.
It's a very wide track, that part. So is the pit entry. Max was pushing Leclerc that hard. Max went in, sorry, not the pit entry, the pit exit even. But Max actually crossed the line of the pit exit.
Yeah. He just veered.
I mean, that was stupid anyway, because he was pushing Leclerc that hard and going for it so much. There was Hamilton, and he just went, yeah, cheers, boys. And took second there and then.
It was too aggressive. It was too aggressive. Like,
yeah, he didn't need to do it.
No.
He didn't need to do it. And he should have known that. A driver of his... Because Tony hasn't said it yet. But I can't actually, because it's not. So I'm not going to say prestige.
No.
A driver of his caliber, though, 3-time champion, doesn't know his car is 20 seconds faster in a race generally. And for some reason just thinks, I've got to get it on this first turn. So I'm just going to push him right off the track. Knowing that he's not in the right... Yeah.
I just thought nothing was mentioned of it. Like, I just thought he didn't need to do it. Like you say, pole is not the best place to start in Texas. I think second or third is, the best. Because like you say, Lewis just nipped on the inside of Leclerc and was like, thank you very much.
Yeah, he jumped on that. But again, that's Lewis. He loves USA. He knows the track well. He probably knew exactly what Max was going to do. And he just jumped on it. And, he got second. He had a fucking great race.
I mean...
he had a great day. I wouldn't call it a great race.
The best talking point I think I'd like to bring up, and I'd like Tony's opinion on this, is the 3-car pile-up on 10 and lap 8. I thought that was one of the most weirdest crashes ever. Tony, what are your thoughts?
I don't remember that happening.
You don't remember it happening?
No.
Did you watch Sprint Race?
Absolutely not. Why would I watch that shit?
Well done. No crash occurred.
Oh, well.
I'm not gonna lie.
There you
I
go,
was
guys. Save
so
yourself an hour. Welcome straight to the Apex, the number one F1 podcast, where we don't watch the fucking shitty sprint. We watch real race and real qualifying. Because
Again,
that's all that matters. And that's what's happened in the past 5, 6, 7 decades of racing in F1.
Mark, you need to seriously apologise to Ricky when you see him at work. You just go, mate, I'm really sorry. Second episode he's probably listened to, and so far, one host has said, yeah, I didn't watch the sprint shootout, and then the other one went, I didn't watch the sprint race.
Ricky, if you're watching this and you watch the sprint shootout, come on, get yourself on here. Tell us how it went. Yeah.
You know what, Ricky? I'll be openly honest with you. Me and Tony, we both enjoy qualifying because we generally have a nap.
Such super F1 fans.
And then normally on race day, he falls asleep after 3 laps.
So I'm the only one that
all the
watches
old
every
fashioned,
session.
but I like watching practice, to be honest. Just to see
No,
how
hang on,
performance
no, Mark, you can't sit there and go, oh, I'm a saint. I don't do any shit like that. Because I remember Tony saying, are we all watching the race live? Knowing it was an 8 o'clock fucking start. And you're like, nah, mate, I'm watching Red Zone.
Yeah, that's the thing. The American over there.
Yeah. And my team weren't even playing. They was on some early Monday morning.
Oh, Friday, quali. Oh, Saturday morning, sprint quali. Sprint. The race.
Mate,
post-race.
Are we going to admit we're not fans of the sprint format?
No,
I mean, I think we've all openly said.
We have. I just don't like it. I just do not like it. It's a way. I hate it on a Friday. I think that Saturdays now, every session matters. Oh, yeah, but it was literally a procession.
I'm going to stick with what I've said. Don't mind the sprint race. If they can make the actual race itself more interesting, because at the moment it is just that kind of you start and you finish. There's no opportunity for pits or anything, because if you pit, you go in last or anything else like that. Just get rid of the shootout. Don't fucking need it. I quite like having a qualifying on a Friday. Have that, but then that decides the grid position for the sprint race, and then however you finish in the sprint race is the grid position for the race.
I mean, we know how to get the sprint race better. Add some rain.
Well, nails on the tracks.
But I think you've got to be there to really enjoy it. You've got to be there to enjoy the sprint race. It just feels like it's mini race followed by real race. Like, unless you're actually there.
But get rid of the shootout. You don't need it. It's too much, and I keep going on about the health and safety side of it. It's too much. It's too much demand on the drivers. Too much demand on the cars.
Well, we found out this weekend 2 cars failed. So
yeah, that's true, and they've potentially put it down too because there was a sprint.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So there you go. And again, well done, FIA.
Yeah.
F1.
So any
I mean, at least there was fans around the track this week. That was nice to see. Actual real F1 fans, not just all business and like last weekend.
Well, just nice to see. It was nice to hear as well, because they got loud.
You've just reminded me of something.
Real loud at the end.
Watching the race, there was a message in our group. Tony, you always laugh when the American national anthem comes on. Why? I forgot to ask you why.
Because they're really, really, really theatrical. Like really, really like every other anthem, and the American one is turned up like to the max. To the max.
You know, I will agree with
you. Can you see? And it went on forever, didn't it? It just went on forever.
I completely agree with that.
What happened before you interject? What happened? Just banned the song. Done. Move on. Why do we need this? Like,
It's better than our national anthem. I must
we don't
admit,
need a performance. No, I'm
Yeah,
not
but-
slagging off the anthem. It's fantastic. And if you want to get real patriotic, take your hat off, take your top off, get your
No.
medals out, whatever.
Right.
But
Hang
we
on,
don't need
right.
a performance. Just do it well.
Tony, you've
and
been very rude.
let's go.
No. I'm gonna be. Sorry, Tony, but America is mine. I'm the one who's going to upset America. So,
But
the American
go on.
national anthem. Absolutely no argument about taking your hat off. You know what? If I go to a rugby game or anything else like that, our national anthem comes on, hat comes off. Absolutely.
Quality record.
But, like you said, have the band on, have your singer, sing it properly. Absolutely fine. America, yeah, they go all out. It's fucking ridiculous. There's more fucking riffs in that than fucking Beyonce after having a fucking curry on a Friday night, probably. But the American national anthem. Sorry, guys. You sing about how proud you are of your country when, let's face it, the anthem is about a battle that you lost.
Well,
I mean, essentially.
farewell, American listener. If we had one.
It's like, yeah, we lost, but you know what? Our flag's still there. Look, it's still there. Oh, pretty.
But when you go to the NFL
And
game,
it's a big
do you
flag.
sing?
It's a
do you
big
sing the-
flag, James.
Do you
It's a
sing
big
the
flag.
American national anthem?
No, because I'm not American.
Oh, I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
Says the guy that watches Red Zone.
I was at Spurs the other weekend. American national anthem came on. All right, that's nice.
Yep.
No, I stood up, but that was because everyone else was stood up and I couldn't see the pitch or anything. Our national anthem came on, hat comes off, because that's my national anthem. That's my nation's anthem.
Yeah, but it's about King now. I ain't bothered. Fuck Charlie boy.
Wow.
Wow,
Did I just hear that correct?
Yeah.
that's right, folks. You have just heard Mark get trialed and everything else with treason.
I hope MI5
Next
finds
trial,
us and take your ass back to fucking Guantanamo.
He will now have to live with some guy called Harry who said he was a prince once or something like that.
Me and the ginger.
Hi, Mark.
Me and the ginger prince. Me and Azza.
Hey,
Charlie boy.
what disappointed me was there was no flyover. Why?
No, I know.
Why?
Yeah.
What happened to that? What happened to just a really big Gulf War stealth bomber flying over at less than 100 feet?
Maybe
To
maybe
bear on
Greta
a
had her
nation.
own
No,
way.
no, Mark, no, I'm being really good here because I could make so many inappropriate comments right now about
There's
bombers.
no inappropriate
No.
comments you can make about the Gulf
I am
War.
being
That was a
Right.
war, and we're not going there.
You brought it up.
We had the Red Arrows. Why?
See, Andy,
Who's the
Sure.
American Red Arrows? If you're listening, and you're the American Red Arrows. Why wasn't you there?
because they
Greta-
don't have the red arrows.
Greta had her
Surely-
own way.
No, they do. They do. I think they do. I think they're called
Yeah,
the
but-
Bluebirds or something.
No, I think they're the
Why aren't they
Canadian
there?
ones. They're the Canadian one.
But yeah, anyway, we've diversity.
Yeah.
We've died somewhere. So
We upset America.
I didn't. I've looked at the UK.
I love the race. I love the patriotism. Love it. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Yeah, patriotism, whatever you want to call it.
USA.
We know you're American and we know you're proud. That's it. We know that. I respect that. I'm an English person. I respect that.
I'm an English.
I'm a Yorkshire.
I'm a proud Yorkshire
from-
American. Leave me alone.
I'm from Hull,
Yorkshire American.
and I.
Anyway, notes. Did you have any more from the sprint?
Big flag, turn one. Big flag.
A massive hill with big
Texas
flag on.
turn three.
Oh, and if anyone knows what the hell we're talking about anymore, please write in and let us know, because I haven't got a fucking clue right now.
Big tower, second to last corner.
Oh, I know we mentioned a big, a couple of corners. I've upset America. Hi, America.
Big hill, turn 1.
So
everything's bigger in Texas.
the race.
Oh, are we on the main race now?
Oh,
yes.
yeah. One, isn't
Yeah.
it? So the only other thing I will say before we get onto the race, but it kind of mingles in with the race, is Mercedes did not have a good weekend for penalties.
Well, George didn't.
Oh yeah, George didn't. I mean, one of them was thanks to Leclerc just going, and a penalty for Mr. Russell, and then 10 minutes later the FIA went, yeah, okay.
Again, he didn't need to make that overtake in the sprint race. He was off the track with Gasly. He then waited too long to give the place back, so he was fucked. And then in the main race, he left the track again.
Yeah, but you know what I found strange about that? So, first lap, Russell comes off the track, gains an advantage, doesn't give it back. FIA turn around and go, oh, that's a 5-second penalty, that. And gives him it. But Hamilton did the same thing in the sprint race. Went off the track, gained an advantage. Nothing done.
They didn't even look at it.
No, because they said it's the first lap. It's a racing incident.
Yeah, it's
So
George, isn't it? George, boring.
Try hard, innit? It's just a try hard. And we all know what happens to the try hard.
As soon as Woody's name comes up on the screen, they're like, oh, let's have a look. How can we piss Woody off?
I hope he learns from all these little mistakes.
Yeah, I got Buzz Lightyear.
Spanish Buzz.
Spanish Buzz. Yeah, pretty much touched straight on with lap 1 of the race. Interesting start though, because I think we was all expecting the push to go a similar kind of route as Max had done in the race, in the sprint race, but it didn't. He went the opposite way.
Yeah.
Didn't get that. He was more worried about Hamilton. I mean, rightly so, but
yeah, odd, very odd. But
I think they knew they had the faster car. They knew they had the faster car. So it was all about just survive. I think it was just survive.
Yeah. Let me get past turn 1, stuff like that. Absolutely, yeah, maybe so, but. That really fell into Verstappen's hands. He got a couple of positions there and then.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Nobody's really given him I've only seen it a few times this season. Like, they're being really respectful to him.
They mentioned this in the race. They mentioned
as much. Yeah, okay, he's a champion. He's a good driver. Red Bull, but they seem to give him They seem to give him respect, almost too much respect. Like, they don't fucking get right into him.
Nobody fights him because there's no point. Like, it was mentioned in commentary. No one actually fights Max. They're just like, oh yeah, he's past me. There's nothing I can do.
Just let him go. Just let him go.
Yeah. There's that. I think, nowadays a lot of drivers probably just think that's not my race. And they're probably right in thinking it. The Red Bull car is in a league of its own. It really is. I mean, Newey's done a fucking number on that one. He really has. And then you got Max behind the wheel, which is just a perfect combination of what they've been working on for years, like I've said a few times. But they've always said that about Max, even when he wasn't a world champion. I mean, I still remember that little Sky Sports thing with Hamilton driving another car, and Brundle's in there. Went, all right, so you've got Verstappen on your left hand side. What do you do? Anyway, it's fucking Verstappen. I'm going straight to the right. I'm staying out of that shit. They would always do it, but that back then, that's because I mean, Verstappen's still aggressive, granted, but back then Verstappen would just fucking go at you. To be like, I'm either gonna make you swerve and I'm gonna take the lead, or I'm gonna take us both out. I don't care.
Or
So yeah,
if you give a bit, you know you're going to get it tenfold. Maybe not this race, but another time.
Yeah.
Because you know, maybe, like you guys have said already, and I didn't really believe you in a previous podcast, he is that good. And the drivers know he's that good and that dedicated. So they know he won't forget, and he is better than them. So maybe that's why they do give him the respect.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I think they, like you said, a lot of them on the radio just say, right, don't lose time with Max. Don't lose time with Max.
It's not worth it.
So they just pull over.
But as well, why fight him? Their car is far superior to whoever's fighting him. Why try and wreck your car trying to just keep up with him and fight him?
We know how aggressive he is as well. That's the other thing. He's probably calmed down on it now. With Hamilton, the first title year, he was overly aggressive. He's not really that driver anymore, is he? I suppose so. But maybe he's got a reputation of if you fight him, he will be aggressive.
Yeah.
No, but at the same time, for Max, what I am going to say about Max is all he wants is a challenge.
The
moment Hamilton turns around and goes, right, you know what, guys, I'm getting on now. I'm done. I think Max will then get bored.
The harder you fight with him, the harder he's going to fight you back. And like we've touched already, you can't mix with him because you're not good enough. Your car's not good enough. Why mess around?
Yeah.
I don't actually have much more on the race itself. I mean, the only other real talking point I've got, other than the last couple of laps, really, is this one-stop strategy thing. I don't get it.
I think the way the race was going, some people were trying that, but as the race developed, they couldn't, and that's when people started coming in. So I didn't expect Lando to come back in after when he went on hards, but then he did, and then everybody else started coming in. So I was like, okay, this race is still open a bit.
It was almost like, because obviously Matt kept Lewis out longer than everyone else, thinking that they could extend the tyre life and then, like you say, do this one stop, and they didn't. They then had Max undercut him, so then Max went ahead, and Lewis was like, well, hang on a minute, why am I so far behind? It took a lot of racing away because everyone was at different points of the different strategies, and in the end, they all pretty much did the same strategy. So, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, both McLaren and Mercedes was both sitting there thinking, "Oh, we can do this in a one-stop." But Red Bull was just like, "Have you seen how hot it is out there? Now we're doing a fucking two-stop."
Yeah.
And in the end, like you said, both Mercedes and fucking McLaren were like, "Shit, yeah, we need another stop."
Yeah.
But you know what? The McLaren still looks fucking fast. The Mercedes, I hate it because I say this every time Mercedes do an upgrade and they look good. Then I always say this looks promising.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to fucking say it.
No.
It did look good, but I'm going with it.
Yeah. Let's see Mexico, because like I say, it's got the longest straight. Let's see if that mare performs there as well as Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Texan fans booing.
Yeah, I can understand why.
It was Mexican fans in Texas.
But it's uncalled for, isn't it? It's uncalled for.
Well, they was all shouting Checo, weren't they? So it was a lot of Mexicans were there.
I don't think you should. That's an awkward one, that. Gesundheit, Beth.
I don't like some drivers, but I wouldn't openly boo them.
Well, look, they've all been there. Vettel got booed. Hamilton got booed. Yep. It's kind of, again, because of Drive to Survive, these non-Formula One fans watching want different people to win every week, and it doesn't happen. And Schumacher got booed. It's all the domination. They don't like it, and maybe like you said in Texas, it was a bit more because all the Mexicans there. They were maybe booing because Tony Rawson's name got called on the PA system.
And you know what? Going to the Drive to Survive thing, we all enjoy watching it. I am going to watch it January, February time next year when it comes out for covering this season. But at the same time, it is becoming a bit of a kind of Disney thing where, you know, they make a villain out of it.
Exactly. 100%. 100%. Yeah.
So.
Oh, yes.
Predictions. So, interestingly enough, because of disqualifications, even though I wasn't happy about it, has helped us out.
It has massively. Yes.
So, our predictions from the last race. Mark, you was on 46 points. I was on 46 points. Tony was on 48. Mark, you went Max, Norris, Piastri because of the new outcome from the race, which I will quickly touch on. It was Max with the win, Hamilton second. Oh, shit, no, it wasn't. Norris second. Sainz third. Perez fourth. Leclerc fifth. Oh, shit, no, it wasn't. Russell fifth. Gasly sixth, and a bunch of other drivers who we don't fucking give a shit about anymore.
Nice.
Yep. Tony, you had 48 points. You went Max, Norris, and Hamilton. You got Max and Norris, giving you 53 points. I had 46 going Max, Norris, Russell. I got Max and Norris, giving me 51 points. Mark, you had Max, Norris, Piastri, giving you 5 points, giving you 51 points as well. So me and you are still tied.
Yeah.
Tony is slightly in the lead. With the girls, Katie went Hamilton, Alonso, Leclerc. She had 9 points. She still has 9 points. Charlie actually pulled one here. She had Piastri, Norris, and Hamilton, so she's now got 14 points. And Beth is absolutely fucking romping it. With Max, Hamilton, Sainz, giving her 46 points. I mean, we might as well just stop getting their predictions now, really, because let's face it, Beth's done it. Beth's going to be picking our forfeit at the end of this season.
After the race, she was pumped because she was a bit closer.
How many of us can she pick off? That's the next thing. If she wins it all, we're going to have to retire this podcast.
Mate, don't say that. There won't be a season.
Or she's going to become the new host every week. That seems only fair. Yeah.
No,
no one's saying my name. No one's Tony, you're my only hope.
I think if Beth beats one of us, Beth has to host the first episode of next season.
I like it.
Yeah. So
you're idiots because it could all just go tits up after one race.
No, because it literally be pick on Tony a little bit more than usual because your wife is hosting. I like it.
Right, we've got a couple of minutes left, boys. So Mexico, 71 laps. Host goes first. Yep. I have gone Max for the win.
Yep.
Hamilton second. Norris third.
Okay.
Yeah.
Marky Poos.
Charlie's.
Yeah. So Charlie has gone Perez for the win. Norris second. Hamilton third.
Okay.
Beth has not said anything.
So I might as well go next because we're waiting. We've got 2 minutes something. So Max for the win. Sainz second. Perez third. And it is Lewis for the win. Ricciardo second. Perez third. Clearly she didn't want any points, but okay.
Massive fail, Ricciardo, isn't he? He's literally just there for a meme. But anyway, that's another conversation.
Right. Tony.
I'm gonna go with.
Here we go.
I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna go Max, Perez, Hamilton. I really want to put Perez to win.
It's not going to happen.
Oh, please!
It's not worth it.
Please do it, Tony.
No, I'm going to lock that in with Max Perez Hamilton.
Okay.
And every other prediction video I've ever seen has gone with last year's Max Hamilton Perez. I've not heard anybody else. I'm surprised with your picks. Very surprised. Beth has gone Max for the win, Hamilton second. And obviously, with what I've just said, she's completely ignored and gone Charles Leclerc third. Good luck, Beth, with your Ferrari engine round the Mexico track, because we all know what happens.
I've got Sainz second.
10 points. Because I thought, why not? I'd like her on the first episode. But yeah,
I'm surprised at Sainz second as well, man. Really surprised.
Don't you worry about it.
So obviously,
What
I
can
won't
you
be
see? I don't know what you can see.
But I will get my predictions over to you. I may have to get my predictions over to you for the race after, because let's face it, I am going to get arrested in Disneyland, and I am going to become part of the It's a Small World After All fucking theme ride, because that's what happens to all the prisoners in Disney.
Best ride.
Good
Anyway.
luck. We'll miss you. Please come back. Don't get arrested.
But as always, first of all, thanks, guys. Another cracking one, I think. Thanks, Andy, for putting up with us. And, well, apologies for listening to this one. It probably got a little bit hairy at times. As always, guys, give us a like, share, subscribe. Beat up the dog walker who's crossing the road. And, you know, when you're pinning them down, tell them, here, listen to this podcast. It's really good. Ricky, there you go, mate. I'll give you a little shout. And we'll see you all soon.
See you
See you later, boys.
So there you go, what do you think to that? More races gone, more races to come. What more could you want? It's a fantastic podcast. The way you can let the guys know how much you love their podcast is by like. Share the podcast around. Subscribe to the podcast so you get notifications for when new episodes are available. Leave a review. Tell everybody else how much you love the podcast. Check out the website, thecookiecast.com. There's social media links and an email button, and you can get in touch with these guys. You can let them know you love the podcast. Tell them who you think is going to win the race. Anything at all. That's it for this one. Until next time, I'm going to say bye, and I'll see you then.
You've just listened to another episode of Cookie Cast. Thanks for listening.